special behind the scenes.
Okay, cool.
See what we can make it on. Larry Green, I've seen you around before. Why did I know you? You look familiar.
I was the mad scientist, or the scientist from the future in one of the episodes of Zombie Etiquette.
Oh, that's where I know you. Zombie Etiquette.
Yes, I was making someone travel through time from the future.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you have a book, too.
Yes, I do.
It's not self-published, is it?
Yes, it is. Self-published. It's the fastest way to get a book out there.
No, I used to think that was the kiss of death. Some people have done quite well. First of all, you have to self-publish. You can't, it's hard to get anything through.
Well, and then the 2 years that it takes to get published, you sit there and you go, well, the message isn't getting to those people for 2 years. So it's mostly, when you think about what a book is a big business card.
5 ways.
So, 5 ways you can change lives and boost your bottom line through great public speaking.
Well, talk to her. I have nothing more to say.
You have nothing more to say?
Right now, she's learning, so she has to ask you some questions.
Okay, how are you?
I'm
John
good, thanks.
Rasiej.
Jean DeVoe.
Hey, Jean, really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, John, are you from Princeton? Where are you from?
I'm actually from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
originally from New York City.
Great. And tell me a little bit about what led to this book and how what in your career led to this.
Well, I actually recently started this business about 3 years ago because I saw a crying need for a lot of business people, entrepreneurs, the need to speak more effectively in public. And I have a background of about 20 years of directing theater, and I was at a marketing seminar. I saw how many people couldn't command a presence in a room, and I realized, a lot of the same skills I show actors when I'm directing them in plays would work really, really well for business people as well, to stand in front of a room, to project well, to convey that air of confidence. So I decided to create a business, and I've been working with business people, with entrepreneurs for about 2.5 years now, and it's a great thing to see how much more of a difference they can make when they're powerful in public. And after a short period of time, I decided that it was time to take some of the information that I've been putting into weekly newsletters and to sort of assemble it into a book form so more people could sort of get a bigger sense of who I am and some of my philosophies about communication. So that's what led to the book.
So what are your top 3 tips?
My top 3 tips. The first tip that I have for speakers is right from the beginning of the speech, start out by making the speech about the listeners. The listeners aren't there to find out about you. The listeners are there to find out how to solve a problem that they have. So the sooner that you can tell them, in fact, if you can do it from the very first things you say, the sooner that they know you're talking about them and solving their problem, they're invested in listening to you. A mistake a lot of business people make, and in fact I was recently quoted in entrepreneur.com in an article about things we could learn from the politicians at the conventions, what those speeches showed us. And one of the mistakes that a lot of those politicians make is they start telling their story before they get the audience to understand why it's important to them. Now, a second tip is to have a presence, to have a commanding posture, to have comfort on stage, and to act like you belong there, because your posture and your demeanor underscores your message. So even if your words are great and your message is great, if you don't have a confident posture, people are going to sense something is wrong, that you're not 100% fully confident in what you're telling them, or that you're not sure that they're getting the full picture of you. So you want to have a strong, confident posture to underscore what you do. And the third thing that I tell everyone is every speech needs to have some call to action at the end. You can't just convey information, drop it in the audience's lap, and then leave it. You have to give them what's the next best step for them to take. It might be to have a consultation with you, it might be to buy your book, it might be to sign up for a workshop or a seminar, something like that. But you want to make sure they can make a decision in the room to do something further with you. Or else you sort of have just let your message just sort of wash over them. It may be some interesting information, but they won't remember it later on when they get back in their cars and they start being bombarded by messages on the car radio, checking emails, so on and so forth. Your message fades. So you want to do that really, really well.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.